Right, exactly. So right now, man, we're going to go to the Allen and Kelly Cover Trade Hotline. I mentioned before that we have a great conversation with some people that's kind of know a little bit something about basketball. One in particular is a guy who, he really found. I guess he saw LeBron. He was 10 years old. K Mac, and knew then that maybe greatness was involved. We also have Hugh Austin with the Greater Harvest and Richard Young with USports. We got a lot of people on right now. Welcome to Sports Shops, my friends. How you guys doing?
Doing well.
So Drew, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing good, Coach. We're gonna get you right into it. Then we have a chance to talk to Hugh Austin as well a little bit later. Let's talk about. I was intrigued by the story. Why I found out about it. Your involvement. That you obviously, people call him the greatest player on the planet right now. Definitely. Did you know at 10 years old that he'll evolve to what he's doing right now?
No, no one would have known that.
Yeah.
10 years old, I knew he was a young man who I met, and we started playing, coaching basketball. He was playing in the rec league on a team opposite my son, and I had an opportunity to put him on a travel team.
Right.
And we did that, and I knew he was a very good player because having played against my son. But no, I wish I could tell you I did that, but I'd be a very wealthy man for those kind of things. So,
oh man, I got a man again. We tried to coach Dru Joyce, who coached LeBron James at an early age and really followed him through his maturation process. We have Hugh Austin on here with the Greater Harvest, and Mr. Austin, let's talk about an event that's coming up in you guys' relationship with Coach Joyce.
Yes, sir. We're just putting on a youth basketball camp. Me and Coach Young, Coach here in North Carolina, we're working together on it, and we're just trying to bring some great experience to someone it's already coached someone with greatness, and maybe bring that on down to North Carolina and get some of these other guys trained, and you never know who's be the next LeBron James.
I know that's right. I think Richard Young is on too, who's no stranger to our sports shop format. He's been on many times, a good friend of the show. Richard, are you on?
Yes, sir. I'm excited, man. Ever since I've been on your show, I've been telling everybody it's the best sports radio show out, man. Glad to get to hear you guys' voice this morning.
Likewise, man. When I saw that you guys were involved in it, I said, well, they got the right guys, because you guys are doing what you're supposed to do, and also glad to have you guys involved in this project.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so back to Coach Joyce. So, Coach, so let me get this right. So you saw him playing at 10. Did you coach him on the AAU circuit as well?
Yeah, that's what I saw him playing against my son in the rec center, in the rec league here in Akron, and then my son was on a travel team, and a couple players left, and I told the coach at the time that I knew a player. And, we got LeBron to join the team, and it was near the end of the travel season. And then that next fall, they just turned 11 years old. They were going into fifth grade. And they went to a practice, and the coach didn't show up. He had moved on, and the parents said to me, why don't you coach the team? Because I was always that dad who was around, hanging around, and just wanted to be involved in my son's life. So, coaching is something that honestly I had always thought about and wanted to do from my days in high school as an athlete. So I jumped at the chance to be involved with my son at that level. And, honestly, that's where it all started. And I coached LeBron through those years of, 11, 12, 13, 14. And, honestly, at 14, thought that that would probably be the end of my coaching him and my son.
Right.
The team was very, very good. We did some very great things. And, they chose to go to the same high school, and the high school coach there asked me, since they were my guys, there's 4 of them that were going to the high school, to come along and be an assistant assistant coach at the high school level.
Wow.
And a couple of years after that, he left and said that I was the guy that should replace him. And so I've been at St. Vincent St. Mary High School now. I just finished my 16th year as the head coach. We've had a lot of success, but it was built on that foundation of that team with LeBron James that went on to win a national championship. But we've, since that time, won a total of 4 state championships and a lot of games, but a lot of very good players that we've been involved with.
Well, Coach Joyce, you know, you just mentioned you guys are going to have a camp here in Durham and in Willow Springs here locally, July 31st to August the 3rd here in Durham, and August the 4th and August the 5th in Willow Springs. You know, talk a little bit about the camp and what people can expect, and you know what actual, you know, what you guys are going to be doing at both of the camps.
Well, you know, what we want to do, what I want to do is, I'm a basketball purist. I believe that, you know, the game is about the fundamentals, and you know, we want to bring some kids in, show them some things that I think are important in their development as basketball players. You know, I always believe that the great thing about basketball is it's a sport that you don't have to have anyone with you to get better at. You can get better on your own if you know how to make the most of your time. So that's what we hope to show them, is how to work out on their own so that they can become a better player individually in honing their skills, and then being able to incorporate you know, those into a team, because, you know, hey, the game is still 5-on-5, no matter what anyone thinks. It's still 5-on-5, but you know, so they can. That's the idea, is to give them some things that will help them along their path.
That's awesome. Mr. Austin, I'm going to get you in here. So what are you guys' relationship? I know with your church is involved as well. Talk about the relationship between your church and Coach Joyce, as well as Richard Young.
Yes, basically, Coach Young, you know, is an awesome coach down here in North Carolina. And I've heard a lot about him, and one of the members, Mario Steele, introduced us to him, and he's just looking at the awesome work he's been doing. And we just got together and said we wanted to put together a basketball clinic for this area down here, and we wanted to bring someone in that was dynamic, that because, you know, already made a statement and already sent some guys in the NBA. Yeah. That would be some access to us. And one of the ladies at our church was friends with Coach Dru Joyce, and so we just called him up, and he was interested in coming down. So we just, you know, had to work it out, just worked out the details and got him down.
Oh, that's awesome. Again, Coach Dru Joyce will be traveling down from Akron for this basketball camp. This gentleman, previous name as the USA Today's Coach of the Year. Obviously, and Coach, you there's not only LeBron that you work with. You put some other guys that you work with that's actually had a chance to play in the NBA. Is that correct?
Yeah, you know, there's other gentlemen, you know, that have, I've been involved with, Coach Koufis, who's still in the NBA. I went to a different high school, but I coached him on the AAU level. And then Jakar Sampson, who has been kind of in and out for the last couple of years, played with Philadelphia for a little while, and he's trying right now to get on with Sacramento. And then there's a number of guys. You know, the great thing about basketball, which I tell all my guys, is if you're good enough, you can go anywhere in the world to play. My son has just finished he's finished his 10th season playing in Europe, and has signed to go to play in Europe for an 11th season, along with Romeo Travis. Those two players played with LeBron in high school. So, and there's a few other guys that have played in Europe. But, you know, the great thing about it is, you know, I tell my guys, all of them, that, you know, I don't really, you know, talk to them, any of my players, really a whole lot about playing professionally. I think that is something that, you know, they can look to. But what I tell them, that what I hope to be able to help them with, is I think the greatest gift that right now a high school player can give their parents is a free college education.
You're right about that.
Yeah, we've been blessed to put a number of guys, a lot of guys in college on scholarships to play at different levels, Division I, Division II, NAIA, and so, you know, I think that's, you know, what we talk about more so than anyone making money because, you know, like I said, if I can help a young man to get an education and not come out with a load of debt and able to do it for free, then that's what we those are goals and dreams you can see. The making of the money is something that's a little further down the road. So you know, and it takes just to even make get a scholarship to play college for free. Division I level, you're in a very select group. There's only 4,500 scholarships for the world. And if you get one of those 4,500 scholarships, you're in a very select group of athletes.
That's awesome. Hey, Coach Young, I'm going to let you get in here. This will be the last question. How can people go and sign up? They want to get involved in this camp. How can they participate?
Yes, sir, Reese. They can go to USportsConsulting.com. And on the homepage, we have some links to register for the events that we're going to have that week when Coach Dru's down. We're super excited to partner with the Salvation Army Boys and Girls Club in Durham for the first half of the week. And then we're going to be at the USports Academy for the second half. But all those details are on USportsConsulting.com. And we're excited to bring Coach Dru down to share his knowledge and his information with not only players, but also coaches in the area.
That's totally awesome. We love it, man. And Coach Dru, when you get down, we got to get you to the studio, too, so we can continue this conversation because I think it's fascinating when you look at, you know, some of the guys you've been involved with and your philosophy. We love to chop it up some more, man. We appreciate you. Again, that's Coach Dru Joyce, as well as Pastor Hugh Austin as Greater Harvest, as well as Coach Richard Young of USports. We appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to you guys down the line, okay?